There is a mission in you, and when you choose to accept it and go all out to accomplish your mission, goals, and dreams, not only will you will change the world. This video is brought to you by Fortune International Seminars and Life Fortune, where our vision is to unlock the hidden potential of individuals and teams to achieve organizational goals and objectives. Get our contact information in the description section below. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime we go live, and share this video, comment on the video. Let's go get it. Lynda, I can't thank you enough for jumping on this call. I just want to call this segment the power of choice, segment number 2, because you are the absolute brain behind this power of choice movement. And I'm so glad you're here to talk about it. So before we go any further, let's just give the viewers a little bit of information how we met.
Go for it. I want to hear your side of the story on how we met.
Well, I was invited to a call where you and your organization at the time were really positioning yourself to help veterans all across the country. And I was invited to a call, and because the person that invited me knew that, I had done speaking, coaching, and mentoring, I was basically invited into your space. And when I heard what you guys had going on, and I was asked for my feedback, I was at some point in time, asked for my input. Does that sound about right?
Yes, actually more so than that, Scott. Your input was so invaluable. I think that's where the true friendship began, because I think immediately, without any hesitation, you became like a co-founder of this veteran program immediately. Just your passion, your heart, your background, your connections, your everything. And it was because of you that we became so successful. So thank you.
Yeah. If you're a veteran out there and you're listening to the channel, we want to thank you for your service. The contributions that you give to this country are priceless. And, you should be multi millionaires for the work and effort that you do to secure our freedoms. And we really, really appreciate it. And Lynda, I really want to say thank you as well. Do you have any association with the military for you to have the passion you did to, be part of that?
Not myself, but my entire family for sure. My grandfather was Navy. My uncle was, I believe, the Navy. My father was Army. My brother was the Air Force. My cousin was the Marines. My nephew was the Navy. So my entire family definitely was military. And I think my biggest heart and passion came from my father coming back from Vietnam, and how I didn't realize how it affected him until he was almost near the end of his life. And it really did have a lifelong impact on him. So it was important to me.
Wow. Lynda, I'm going to tell you something. About 5 years ago, almost to the day, February 3rd, roughly, one day before my sister's birthday, 5 years ago, I put this YouTube channel together. Never did I roll out any content. I did a speaking event in Deerfield Beach, Florida, with the legendary Les Brown. So I was called upon to speak on the stage. I was selected as one of the speakers to go up against another group of speakers, right? And I put up some testimonials from that event. I also had a recording of me on stage delivering my presentation, and I posted that to the YouTube channel. Besides that, Lynda, I didn't do anything with this for 5 years. For 5 years, this sat idle. And I had a choice in the matter to move forward with this or let it exactly sit the way it was. Lynda, for 5 years, I've only had 7 subscribers to the channel. No one knows about this channel. So it was a choice. I had the power of choice to make a decision just a few days ago to post the first video after 5 years. So here we are, talking about the power of choice. And speaking of the power of choice, your story is incredible. And I just want you to share with the viewers what the power of choice is, how it came about, and, what's your involvement, what's your vision for the power of choice? What is it all about?
Making a difference, making as many people in the world realize that life is about choices. Just like you chose to restart your YouTube channel and have people subscribe, it's no different with everyday life. So anyone who's involved in the power of choice has been through some crap in life, right? And I don't care whether it's addiction, drugs, trauma, PTSD, betrayal, all of the above, none of the above, right? There's so many, everyone has a story, right? And
That's
it's
right.
not what our story is, it's what we do with our story.
That's
Whether
right.
we sit back, feel sorry for ourselves and crumble, or whether we make a choice to rise above it. And so with the power of choice, as you know, we want to go out there and show people that it's not too late. And no matter how bad you're feeling at the moment, it can turn around in a heartbeat.
Wow. Yeah. So, who's all involved with this power of choice? Exactly what are you doing now with it? What's going on?
So
Um,
it's a very impactful speaking event. As you know, it's myself and you running the event, which is, I couldn't ask for a better partner to do this with and to take this journey with, along with three other speakers who, again, I can listen to their stories, your story, my story, repeatedly and still cry and still be inspired each and every time.
wow. Yeah. Well, that was kind of a loaded question. I do have, some insight on what it is, and it is powerful because, for the vast majority of people, unfortunately, people go through life, um, letting life, give them what life wants to give them. Life doesn't give us what we want; it gives us who we are. And my mentor Les Brown says, when you go through life casual, you're going to end up becoming a casualty. And if you don't make a choice to move, but then the question becomes, what is it that stops us from making choices in our life? And in the last segment, I was talking about that briefly. That for whatever reason, we don't make these important choices in our life because of X, Y, and Z. Because we're afraid of what other people will think of us and stuff like that. But we have, you and I and the rest of the panel, we have had life give us a blow, haven't we?
Oh my God, yeah, for sure. And I noticed when I work with my clients as a coach, people would think, and it was because of you that I came out with my story years ago, because people would work with me and think I couldn't relate. I had my crap together. I haven't been through anything, right? My life is perfect. And that's what somebody may think of you or I on the outside. But like I said, everyone has a story. And when you open up and you share your story, it's impactful to other people and makes you relatable. And it's not, so your story is never anything to be embarrassed about. It's something you should be proud about. And you should use your story and your adversities in life to help other people.
Yeah. So we may have touched on this already. I feel like we're moving through this segment pretty fast, but the power of choice um, is a seminar workshop event where
Mhm.
myself, you, three other speakers come together on one stage, sharing just a little bit of time, some key points and things that have taken place in our life. And what we're talking about are periods in our life where we were challenged and we were put to the test. But again, we had a choice to either stay there in the doldrums of life or bounce back to move forward to accomplish our mission, goals, and dreams. Lynda, your story
Mhm.
touches my heart dearly. Do you mind for the viewers just to give a little quick glimpse into your life and why the power of choice is so important to you?
Yeah, sure. Without really putting my vulnerability out there in such a short period of time tonight, I had a lot of betrayal in my family and in my life after losing my dad, and a lot of resentment and anger um, from other people in the family that caused me to lose my freedom, caused me to spend time in a place I never thought I would. Um, and I think that that was probably something that I never envisioned, right? I'm a family person. And so all the things that happened to me before that, and illnesses and financial demise and rock bottoms we go through, never in a million years would I have thought that I would have been faced with a situation like that. And it's not about, like I said, what we're dealt, and it's not about, to me, it's not about trying to figure out why. It's about accepting whatever happens to us and figuring out how to move past it and how to grow from it.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a dear friend of mine, and the funny thing is I've known her for years. She's a very, very powerful speaker. Her name is Vernice Flygirl Armor. She's the first African American combat fighter pilot for the Marine Corps. She flew attack helicopters. And I remember something she told me a long time ago when there was a period of my life where I thought someone that I knew, loved, and trusted betrayed me. And I was in a low point in my life, in the military, serving. I was training at a warrior leadership course, but I was struggling, with this person that I thought betrayed me. One day, she called me, and I was in my emotions and everything, but she heard in my voice that I was stuck. She heard in my voice that I was going through things. She heard in my voice that I was just at such a low. And this is what she told me. I'll never forget this. She goes, "You know what, Scott? I hear something is going on in your life, and I don't even want you to talk about it. I don't even want to know what's going on." This is all she said to me, Lynda. She says, "Scott, whatever it is, acknowledge the obstacles, but do not give them power. Obstacles are not just obstacles, but rather divine intervention to redirect your steps to put you on the right path." In that
Yeah.
moment, the light bulb came on. In that moment, I began to focus on my mission, goal, and dreams in life again. In that moment, I literally died to who I was so I could give birth to the new person I was to become. In that moment, with the snap of a finger, everything that I was going through was gone and behind me, and I seen better days. Have you ever had a moment like that in your life?
Amazing. Oh, yeah. It's an amazing story. And I hope you let her know the impact that she had on your life, because people go through life all the time and you don't realize, right, the impact. And that was just hearing those words being said to you would impact me.
Yeah. And I remind her of that all the time. For those of you watching the channel, if you don't know anything about me, I was born in Columbus, Ohio. Shortly after birth, my parents moved us to a tiny, tiny one-bedroom house in a small town called Wilmington, Ohio. When I was in the first grade, my mother vanished. She vanished without a trace. Had no idea where my mom had gone. All I knew was that she wasn't in the house anymore, leaving behind, my brother, my sister, and I, to be raised by my dad, all by himself. In the second grade, I was labeled a slow reader, forced into the hallway, Lynda, into the hallway with a flashlight, into a cardboard box. And the reason why they did that was because I couldn't keep up with the other readers. and I was slowing the rest of the class down. So they sent me out in the hallway with a flashlight in a dark cardboard box with a Dr. Seuss book to read, leaving me alone in that box to read on my own. Into third grade, my third grade teacher during reading comprehension, I'll never forget her calling me up to the front of the room, grabbing my chin and shaking my chin, going, "Why can't you comprehend? Why are you so slow? Why are you behind in your reading?" And I never forget what that felt like as I tucked my tail between my legs and walked back to my desk, sitting there in a puddle of tears. In the sixth grade, I wore my female cousin's panties. I didn't go to the restroom because I was embarrassed at restroom breaks because I didn't want anybody to see what I had on. But instead, during recess, I would go behind the dumpsters and relieve myself and then come back out and pretend like I had been playing on the playground. In the seventh grade, I was the class clown. It seemed like every other week, ineligible for football games because my grades weren't up. In the eighth grade, I had to repeat the eighth grade. But something magical happened my second time through. And I don't mean to go on a tangent, but I was sent to the office for drumming on my desk. And little did I know that the encounter with the principal would change my life forever. He basically asked me, "Why are you so disruptive? Why don't you seem to come to class ready to learn?" And I said, "Because I'm afraid of being called upon. So I'd disrupt the class on purpose so that would happen, so they wouldn't call on me for fear, I would give the wrong answers." And Mr. Summers, who I just looked for not too long ago, I heard he passed away. He sat up in his chair and he looked me in the eyes and said, "Young man, the person you are right now will never define who you are going to be." And I said, sir, do you really believe that about me?" And he goes, "Yes, I believe that. I believe that the person that I'm talking to now is not the person that you're going to become in your life. And if there's anybody that I would rather be in the trench with when something breaks out, when all hell breaks out," I'm in the eighth grade. He says he would rather it be me in the trench with him. And I said, "Would you write that down, Lynda?" He wrote that down on a piece of paper. And the reason why I tried to contact him was to see if he could write that for me again, because obviously, it's been a long time since I've been in school. And
Not that long.
I've graduated, went on to the military, did 32 years, retired. But I was trying to reach back to him to say, "Hey, would you write that for me again?" So I got on Facebook and I was asking, my peers and some classmates, and they said, "Scott, Mr. Summers is dead. He's no longer here anymore." But his message and how he impacted me lives with me today. Just crazy.
Yeah. Another great story. You're full of them.
Did I go off? I always go off on tangents. I keep telling.
No, you're full of great stories. You're full of great stories. I'm always fascinated.
Yeah. So tell us, tell the viewers about what we're really getting ready to do, what we're getting ready to roll out, what our phone calls have been like over the last couple of weeks.
As far as what? I mean, you and I have so many great plans in the works. I mean, you got to be a little more specific.
So again, we want to take this around the country. We have a story that we believe can really impact and touch the hearts of anyone who hears it and anyone who is struggling. We just want to let you know to smile. You're not the only one with troubles in your life. You're not the only one. And we try to smile when we go through ours. And Lynda, seriously, you and I are not standing here and sitting here as if we have some crown upon our head, as if we have life all figured out. We don't,
still figuring it out.
Yeah, we're still figuring it out. And the power of choice we have that power to continue to make choices today. So if you're looking at this and listening, hey, we're just like you. We're trying to figure this out, but we know we have a powerful message. We want, and if you're at a corporation, a university, a high school, if you're anywhere on the planet, this message is for you. But Lynda, that's about right. We just want to take this message around, but you have selected some powerful people to be on the platform.
It's important, right? And I think that the stories are well-rounded, so that with 5 speakers, we can touch almost everyone on some level. And I think that was our goal, not to have the same story, the same, whatever somebody might want to call it, a sob story. It's not. It's with every, I always say, with every trial, tribulation, rock bottom, there's a lesson, there's a gift there. And it's just a matter of whether you find it and you recognize it and you run with it.
Yeah, I'll name one of the speakers, and then maybe you can name one. I'm going to jump in before you grab Luke Bonenberger, who you're going to be
I know that.
who you're going to be having lunch with real soon. He is a colleague over on the Les Brown side. He and I are both Les Brown speakers, trainers, and coaches. So who else do we got?
We got Adam Simon.
Adam.
Oh, yeah, Adam's got a great story. A great story, and I don't even want to give his story away. I couldn't tell it like he does. What I will say is both the speakers you're talking about are both in the book that you and I recently published, and it gives a lot of insight.
And I want you to touch on that, and then we have Dr. Jamie Pendergrass. So about the book, Lynda, you know, this is the power of choice, the power of choice, the power of choice, the power of choice. How many times have we procrastinated in our life? I guarantee you there's somebody watching this video that has a book inside of them. They have something that they need to do in their life, whether it's to get their financial house in order, whether it's to pick up the phone and mend a relationship that's been broken over time, call a son, call a daughter, and say, you know what, the reason why I called you, because you were on my mind, and I just wanted to apologize to you for what I said the last time. You know, there's people that have these books in them, and for whatever reason, they don't write them. And I've had an opportunity to do just what we did, Lynda, with the book numerous times. And I just always felt like, man, I fell into the comparison gap, and I always felt like, man, I don't have anything to say like they do. So I'm not going to contribute to that, even though I really had something to say. So you are the mastermind behind this book. So I'm going to shut up and let you talk about
it. I'm not really the mastermind. It's definitely a collaboration. It took a good year, but my concept was many opinions, many speakers, many authors, many coaches, many professionals, right, on all levels, to be able to give as much knowledge to the world as possible in one book.
Wow. So don't keep us waiting.
Okay.
This book was just recently.
It was, yeah.
Right. So talk about the book, and then I'll make sure that you and I together put that in the description below so people can go get this book. Okay. And
so the book is called A to Z. It's a life manual, and I will show it to you. You can see Scott Fortune right there.
Ah, I see Lynda.
Yes, yes. It's an amazing concept. So when I say A to Z, we tried to cover every topic we could, or the most important ones from A to Z. Blended families, addiction, accountability, communication, entrepreneurship, mindfulness, right? Quit blaming, relationships, sex, intimacy, what triggers us, forgiveness, living a happy life, intentions. And believe it or not, I've yet to read the entire book cover to cover, other than when I proofread it, right? But I still go through it and I still highlight. I will share my screen with you if you'd like.
Yeah, hold that book up one more time. I don't even have a copy of this book. Let me
Yeah,
see how thick that book is.
it's pretty thick.
Woo, the A to Z Life Manual.
Mhm.
And
I keep, I keep, go ahead.
is this book is on Amazon right now, ready to be ordered.
It is. Yes. I keep two books next to my bed at all times. One is sitting there right now, and there's this one. So one is my journal, my self-reflection, what kind of got me to where I am today, and the other one is this book. And not a day goes by that I don't look at it, highlight things that are important. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna maybe embarrass you a minute here, Scott. Scott has an amazing chapter on overcoming obstacles, but his is unique in the sense that it's a workbook. So you can really work through your goals and your dreams. And uh, in the bottom, underneath his bio, I don't even know what I wrote, so I'm putting myself on the spot here too. One of a kind, Scott is a leader, a true inspiration, and a brother of mine. He is family for sure. Love you, Scott, and your chapter. So I wrote whatever about my colleagues in each one. So
Well,
um
that's thank you. Lynda, you have been journaling in that. You've been taking notes. So you did mention, I thought I heard you say something about share your screen. Share your
oh,
screen.
oh,
Whatever you have, I want to see it. And maybe this will add value to somebody else. So I'm going to shut up and let you go for it.
so you'll see just highlighted things that I highlight throughout the entire book. I take notes in it, right? Because I find everybody's words and every author to be so valuable. I actually have a client of mine who ordered the book. I tell my clients read the chapters that are applicable. This woman is reading it cover to cover and has gotten so much value, and she's only at the F chapter. So here's just one that says staying upset is optional. It's a learned behavior, right? That was one of the notes that I took. The power behind the mind. Um, whether you choose to forgive, if you don't, you're relinquishing your power. Hot heads tend to not prevail over cooler heads. How to live a happy life. No one's omitted from reaching their goals. Our thoughts create our world. Not blaming others, right? Not controlling others. Let's see. Do you want to be right? Right. This was from the forgiveness chapter. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? Right. So just so many powerful, powerful things. Of course, we have one of your great quotes in here, and one that I think I can probably speak with you because I just say it so often and it's so impactful. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and say it, Scott. You're on mute. I'm sorry.
Lynda, that quote is just something I'm now being known for, right? And it just simply says, if you want it, you can get it, no matter the hours or sweat you put in it. If you speak it, you will reap it. So go on, go after it, and go get it. And when life deals you its blow, step up and say, oh, hell no. Lean forward in the trench and fight for your mission, goals, and dreams. All right. That's it.
The book's impactful for me as well. So it's great to say I wrote a chapter, two chapters, three chapters in it, right? Doesn't matter. That's not what impacts me. Those are things that I live with every day. But to read every other chapter and all the words from all these other authors, including yourself, are what make a difference to me.
Before we get off here, I know that you said something to me the other day about some of your clients that you're coaching, some of your coaching clients are actually using this in the sessions. How is that going? And how are you utilizing the book in your sessions?
Interesting. So when I see them struggling with something in particular, I'm not one to say, go pay money, go buy my book, right? I want to help people. So if it's a certain topic that I know will impact them, I take a picture of the chapters and I shoot it out to them. And they read it, they reflect on it, and we talk about it. And I haven't had one person tell me anything but how valuable this has been. Like I said, my client now is reading it cover to cover, which I wasn't expecting, but to see how it has, she got through the forgiveness chapter and she started like writing letters to people and thinking about it and rewriting them, and it's just crazy. And it's funny, in the end of I have to read this to you, because in the end of the forgiveness chapter, um, the woman who wrote this put, "You've been served for all of those who have taken up space in your mind longer than they should, those who have been there unwanted and without serving you. It's time to serve them their eviction papers. They need to go. Bye-bye."
Wow.
And I used that tonight with a client who is so holding on to somebody in her life that just doesn't serve her any good, and it impacted her. So I will take from the book, and that's why I highlight certain things that I think are super impactful, 24-hour rule, whatever, right? And I use them every day. I mean, it's knowledge, and knowledge is a gift.
Yeah, speaking of that, for those of you that just heard those that powerful statement from Lynda just now, information without application leads to fascination, but information with application leads to transformation. How many of you watching this video want to transform your lives for the better? And Lynda, I'm going to say something. You are one hell of a coach. You in coaching is the most powerful form of transformation there is. You are one heck of a coach. And I know that you're touching a lot of people's lives. And for you looking and listening to this recording or video right now, let me tell you something. Coaching is not what you think it is. First of all, the word and term coach is the most overused, misunderstood, misrepresented, and abused word in the personal and organizational and success sector. There's a lot of pretenders, charlatans out there calling themselves the coach, and they're no more a coach than our fingernail, our pinky fingernail. But Lynda, you are one heck of a coach who is really impacting lives. I would encourage anybody. We're going to put Lynda's contact information in the description below. We're also going to put a link to where you can get the life manual, the A to Z life manual. I'm really excited that you asked me to be part of it, Lynda.
I'm honored. I'm honored to be working with you.
I haven't even met you in person yet, but we've established a company to where we go out and we do corporate training and events. We're literally just launching that for 2023. And we want to pour into people. So we're always constantly being poured into, and we just want to turn around and pour back into others. Please get the book. It's on Amazon. We'll have the link. And when you get the book, comment on this video or reach out to us directly and say, I have my copy, because we want to meet you in person. We want to meet you on a Zoom call or something and just talk to you and see what's on your heart and mind. What are you going through? What are your challenges? What challenges have you come out of? You can share your story with us so we can, with your permission, share that story with somebody to empower them. Lynda, you have the final words.
I really want to add to the book real quick that any chapter you read has the author's contact information in it. So if there's a chapter you connect with, you can call any of these coaches, any of these authors, any of these professionals. And in the end, also has a lot of really great quotes that people live by. So it's not about me, it's about you, it's your journey. Make it a great one.
Thank you, Lynda. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and we'll see you on the next segment. And remember, life doesn't give you what you want. It gives us who we are. Take care.